Facebook now says it estimates that approximately 126 million people may have seen content produced by a Kremlin-linked company at some point between 2015 and 2017.
The foreign interference we saw is reprehensible. That foreign actors hiding behind fake accounts abused our platform and other internet services to try to sow division and discord and to try to undermine the election is directly contrary to our values.
But Facebook also says the Russian content represents 0.004% of newsfeed content in that period, or approximately 1 out of every 23,000 articles. In fact, even as they emphasized the seriousness of the issue, all three companies say the content traced to the Russians has been minuscule as a proportion of total content, and much didn't reference the elections or the candidates. Nonetheless, members of Congress are urging action, even as the goal of Russian actors remains murky.
These ads are clearly intended to worsen racial tensions and possibly violence. Their goal is to divide us and discredit our democracy.
That ability to influence is said to have been displayed at this rally after the election. Thousands gathered in New York to protest against Donald Trump. It's alleged the organizers, Black Matters US, were linked to the Russian internet company that was advertising on Facebook. As internet companies try and understand what's happening and attempt to prove that they're taking the issue seriously, they're already censoring posts focusing on race or social inequality because they're deemed divisive and, quote, anti-American, and that has some concern.
Various sites that tend to publish more kind of radical thought had seen significant drops in their search traffic. And obviously Google has a monopoly on search and is thus responsible for the majority of the search traffic that these sites will see. So that is one indication that Google's algorithmic updates tend to favor sites more like the Washington Post, the New York Times.
It's unclear what the Russians who bought social media content were trying to achieve, nor what, if any, effect that content had on last year's election. But care will now be needed that any reforms that are made in the name of US democracy don't leave users only with content that's been deemed acceptable by Silicon Valley and members of Congress. Shihab, Rattansi, Al Jazeera, Washington.